Hi, so I'm back with another video. This is my second video so far. Um, yeah, basically, in the last one, I was kind of in a pretty good place when I was recording it, and when that happens, I don't really try to lie on purpose, but at least just not completely honest, or I just unconsciously just don't want to talk about things that scare me or negative aspects with this. So it's like, I don't know. But basically in this video, I don't want to make it too long because that one was like super long, but I just want to be more honest about where I am, where I've been in my situation. So a lot of people who have voices, their voices are usually like across the board, just bad. Like they just insult them, constantly, or at least most of the time, and it's just really an unenjoyable experience for them most of the time. There are definitely variations in it. For example, with my situation, I the voices that I have in my head, they started off as being kind of going between trying to really extremely scare me with like terrifying beliefs and sensations and all that kind of stuff. And then on the other end, they've tried to be like even playful and nice, funny, even sexual with me. And that's been one of the main, really problems with this, but also reasons why for a long time, and even like yesterday and parts of my life recently, I've been believing that the voices aren't, or whatever beings and negative entities are behind them. Like maybe they're not negative entities. Maybe you know like life is supposed to be more fun and more enjoyable, and that you can just kind of reach out spiritually, and it's not a big thing that you need to be overly cautious about, or things like that. Basically just because of what I've experienced with this, just wanting to believe, like I covered in my first video, like kind of false feel-good beliefs. And like, yeah, of course it's hard, if not like, well, it's not really impossible, but it's like really, really hard to know whether a belief is just a feel good false belief sometimes, or if it really is just, um, the truth. In my experience, well, actually, let me go back to what I was talking about before. Yeah, and also, I'm sorry that I kind of jump around a lot and pause, and maybe I'm not very clear with my uh, words and what I'm saying, but I do have to deal with like daily mental suppression from these entities, um, which kind of make it harder to think clearly and formulate like coherent, uh, sentences and speech and things like that. So yeah, basically just some of the things that I've experienced, and I'm just gonna be like super honest with this, and because I've spent a long time in my life just trying to keep things to myself, even before I experienced the voices and things like that. I've just always been kind of afraid of opening up, and kind of, you know, not wanting to be honest with my true feelings and things like that. Usually because I don't want to either make the other person worried or concerned about me, but also because I don't want them to think negatively of me. But yeah, so with this, one of the main things that's like kept me stuck with this and still kind of believing it and wanting to believe it, is the whole sexual aspect with the voices. Now, for me, growing up when I was around like 15, I was talking to a guy online, and I was kind of like starting to talk to people online sexually. And um, basically, I came across this. Um, I don't know if you would call it like a fetish, but where I enjoyed calling my partner daddy or um, something like that. Basically, I really enjoyed the role play aspect of like, you know, daddy and baby relationship. So, and with that, I mean, it was something that kind of became a really core part of my identity for me, even to the point where I allowed it to, um, where, I mean, at the time, I would make decisions thinking that, uh, I don't have to be an adult really. Like, I would just one day find a boyfriend or something like that who would be the adult for me, and I could just, uh, be more childish in my ways of being in life. And I basically, um, well, the voices and the entities who are behind this, they basically um, played off of that, and not immediately, but slowly over the course of many months dealing with it, because like the first months were just completely terrifying most of the time and crazy and stuff. But after that, after I stopped believing everything they said as much, I still did a lot of the time, but yeah, basically the voices would call me baby and um, have different names for me. It would basically try to fill that role, or at least like what I thought I was looking for. Um, Not all the time, of course, but enough where it really like it made it so it was really hard to see it as a bad thing a lot of the time, because it was like, oh, I finally have this um, kind of relationship, even though it's not a real relationship, but I kind of had this sense of um, like belonging in a way, and um, having basically like a presence in my head that would you know call me baby and treat me how I kind of wanted to be treated. It was always kind of insulting in a way, like, because I don't think they can really just, well, I don't really want to go there. But yeah, basically just that it started off like that. And then there were also many points where I was exposed to really out there sexual stuff, like through visualizations or like being sent images in my head, also coupled with like dreams and again, like changing my beliefs. Um, Not that they have absolute power over that, but they can definitely like insert beliefs into your head and get you to believe it way more easily than you would otherwise. So they would do things like one dream I that still sticks out to me is one where basically I was on this planet inhabited um, by giants and by um, kind of just crazy imagery, basically where they were talking about like me being eaten alive. And of course, I mean, that sounds ridiculous, I know, but my goal with this is to just be as honest as like reasonably possible, just in case there are like, other people out there who experience stuff like this and think that there's nobody out there who experiences or even is interested in things that are this weird, because um, parts of me like definitely enjoy aspects of this, and I think that's why they um, not that it's literally just me, because they try really hard to um, sorry, I just decided not to keep talking about that. But yeah, basically in this dream, they were like showing me images of me being like eaten or treated um like just an animal that was being hunted, or like a bunch of other really kind of dark and disgusting in many ways imagery and ideas. Um, but at the time, they were also giving me, making me feel a lot of physical pleasure in my body. Like, um, it's nothing like a normal person has ever experienced. Um, but it's it's basically just like I had, feelings of pleasure, like in my body, especially in my abdomen area. And they were pretty intense for a long time during this dream, which happened like maybe 2 years ago now, and I still remember it vividly and think about it sometimes because it was just so, um, well, it was very enjoyable in many ways, to be honest, also frightening, but it was like erotically intriguing, I would say. But that's kind of, what this whole thing has been about in many ways, and kind of why I'm making this video now is just like because for the past day or two, I've kind of been going down the road where it's like, maybe it's okay to be sexual spiritually. Maybe it's okay to, want this like erotically intriguing but kind of dark and uh, disturbing stuff to be, more real in my life, whatever that means, or if that's even possible. So, yeah, basically just saying that, like, if you are listening to or watching my videos, that I'm definitely not perfect with this. I often still uh, get led down rabbit holes and allow myself to be. I definitely could try harder to, um, or at least not really trying harder, but just to be more um, rational and to make more healthy decisions, more strategic decisions in dealing with this. And yeah, so it's not always easy because sometimes, like, well, a lot of the times, the images that they present, like, as far as, like, really dark and stuff that has to do with, a lot of the time has to do with, like, submission and things like that, but not in a way that is, like, loving or at least just role play for, a normal couple or anything. It's um, like existential domination in a way is kind of the term that comes to mind, where it's like it's beyond just normal love and care that these beings, whatever they are, like the negative entities, they really just don't care about us as people, I don't think. And it's really just, um, it's like evil on many levels. Like, it's not, I mean, I don't want to use the word evil too liberally because there's a lot of, energy and just, feelings associated with that. But yeah, so basically, like, just that they don't care about us as intelligent beings. They see us as like livestock, um, basically. So yeah, that kind of goes into what I've been thinking about, well, for a while actually, like ever since I came across Montauk, really. Um, Again, montauk.net, uh, his materials really helped me out. But, I don't know if you've ever heard about like the matrix control system, or how Earth is like a energy farm or a soul farm, and how, the reptilians or other negative alien beings control Earth, or at least a great portion of what goes on Earth, and basically deprive us of spiritual sustenance, dumb us down, try to just keep us entertained and distracted with like all kinds of different things. Like nowadays, it's like movies and video games and um, kind of the rat race mentality where you're constantly just pushing and striving with physical um, jobs and things like that, and usually from a place of just like wanting to be put yourself above other people, or at least have more money than other people and things like that, kind of just perpetuating the competition mindset. um, so yeah, and I believe they do that just in order to keep us kind of stuck in the matrix or earth or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I have a lot more to say about that, and there's so much information out there about it. And yeah, I mean, a lot of people would read that and just think, oh, that doesn't make any sense, that's crazy. But um, from what I've read, it actually makes the most sense out of pretty much uh, any like theory, really. Basically, my current way of looking at it, and this is just my own perspective, like not saying it's 100% accurate or anything, but is that you basically have like two sides to creation. You have the one side over here, which Montauk and other material refers to as STS, like the letter STS, which stands for service to self. And these are basically beings who um, don't care about other people, that their goal is to maximize their own pleasure, their own enjoyment, by uh, sacrificing others, or by taking control of others and like doing what I just said, like trying to dumb them down and make them believe that they're not equally God as much as everybody else. And then on the other hand, you have STO, which is service to others. And I'm still not really a fan of that, because I think it perpetuates the idea that you need to be like, really self sacrificing and, just kind of push away your own desires and your own needs as a person, and just always be, running around trying to help everybody, when I don't think that's what it's about. I think it's about taking a healthy, more balanced approach. So maybe I've been calling it like STA, like service to all. Um, but basically, that side approaches existence and their life from the perspective that we're all, equal parts of God, and we all deserve to be treated equally and to have equal rights and equal chances at growth and enjoyment and happiness. Um, so basically, like, you have these two sides of creation, and the STS is what tries to subjugate people and keep them locked in lower levels of existence. And STA mentality, or basically more like uh, loving and godly living, um, whatever that means to you. But basically, that's how people grow out of that and grow up through creation and back toward being reunited or becoming a part of the Godhead again. Um, so they're like counterbalancing uh, forces in a way. And this is an oversimplification, of course, and it's not that simple. And I mean, there are still some things I don't really understand about it, but basically, like seeing STS as stagnation or like being kept down, and then STA being the force for growth, um, and returning back to a source or the Godhead, um, through loving growth and uh, equal egalitarian relationships with other people, like, and yeah, so uh yeah, I just kind of wanted to get that out there. And then also the STS are basically like, the people who try to enforce the matrix. And yeah, I mean, I could go on for a long time about that, but this video is already pretty long. So yeah, going forward, I'd ideally like to keep my videos shorter. And honestly, my kind of mentality with this right now is just that I would just want to get a video up on YouTube, like out there into the world, regardless of whether it's perfect or not. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely aware that I'm kind of jumping around a lot with this, but I feel like I'm just trying to come across as, well, I'm just trying to do this from a place of honesty and not really trying to pre-plan everything or be super perfect with it, just kind of being more off the cuff and seeing where it goes for now. So thanks for watching. And again, if you're interested in learning more from a like intellectual perspective, I definitely recommend montalk.net. Thank you.